What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Medical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United Fans Corner. I'm your host, Shegun. And guys, we are back to discuss Manchester United. So guys, I came across a very, very interesting, and I think for me, I love that image. I saw an image on X, right? And the post on X actually says was talking about the structures needed to build a complete football team. Right. And for me, I really love that. So they listed, in two segments, 75% of the job you need to have in your team or things you need to input in your team for your team to become a complete team. They listed the things there, and they went ahead to list, the 25% of the things you need to have in your team to make your team a complete team. So let me quickly run us through what that list had. So first and foremost, on the 75% of the things they said you need to look at is first of all transitions, right? Transitions. How well does your team how well do your team do on transitions, right? And as you know, football tactics, as I've said many times here, is into 5 areas. Majorly, football tactics on the pitch is 5 areas. The first is attacking transitions. The second is your attacking shape, right? The third is your defensive transition. The fourth is your defensive shape. And the fifth is set pieces. So the first one, that the first body you need to have is your transitions. How well is your team good on attacking transitions and defensive transitions? And what an attacking transition is when you win the ball from the opponent, how well do you in that moment attack, right? Defensive transition is when you lose the ball, how well do you retreat and defend well, right? And then they said the next step is your attacking organization. So attacking organization, they talked about how well do you attack, right? A lot of points are going to discuss. The next one is your defensive organization. How well is your defensive organization? Then the next one after defensive organization is your physical preparation, your fitness, your nutrition, all those things. How well do you do it? So these are the things that they said makes up for 75% of the goals. And then 25% of the goals, they talked about free kicks, that's set pieces essentially, corners, penalties, throw-ins, your kickoff routine. How well do you do these things? That's set piece, right? How well do you do those things? So guys, what we want to now do is to do an analysis on these different areas. So it's like a deep analysis on these different things that makes a complete team. Will now rate United on those qualities, like on those criterias. In attacking transitions, how well are we doing? In defensive transitions, how well are we doing? And for each point, we'll rate United over 10. Right? So I know this is going to be controversial. I know. But guys, stick with me. Yourself, you can put your own in the comment section of what you believe and how well you believe United is doing well on these areas. So guys, let's jump right into it. So the first thing is transitions. And the first one on that transitions is attacking transitions. For me, I believe on attacking transitions, I believe United is very, very good on attacking transitions. At least we are above average. And that's why you can see when you look at the games against Manchester City, against Arsenal, that's under Michael Carrick, the fact that our ability to sit in a low block, mid to low block, and then to hit on the counter when we win the ball quickly, sharply. I think we are very, very good on that. And I think United, for years, have always had teams that are very, very good on attacking transitions. Very, very good. When we win the ball from a low position, mid or low block, to hit on the counter and to hurt teams, I think we are very, very good. And I think maybe that's why people are calling it the United DNA. I think our DNA is more than that. I think it's just a little part of what Sir Alex Ferguson's club used to do, or teams used to do in those days. But I don't think that was the main thing they did for majority of the games. Sir Alex's team will come out to attack, right? Come out to attack, isolate, and overload and isolate, right? Do a lot of very, very suffocating attacks. But one thing about the game of Sir Alex's teams that they were very, very good at was the fact that they were good on transitions and they were a very, very complete team, right? So on the attacking transitions, I think our current team is very, very good. I think we've seen that against Arsenal. We've seen that against Manchester City. We've seen that over the years that we can really, over the years, even against Arsenal and Manchester City, that we can really hurt teams in those transition moments. So for me, I'll be giving Man United a 7 over 10 on our attacking transition. I think it's really solid. Really solid. The likes of Dogu this season, the likes of, Mbeumo, who has done it well against, who has done it well for when he was in Brentford, right? The likes of Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, very, very important in that attacking transition game. So I think 7/10. Now, the next is defensive transitions. Defensive transitions, I think this is where we have had issues. And that's why it's one of the reasons why United is not yet a team that can pin the opponent successfully in their own half. Because no matter how we try to do it, we try to do that sometimes under Ten Hag. We try to do that sometimes, even under, I think, Vanguard at certain points, having the ball, trying to, But the fact is, when we lose the ball, our ability to recover the ball on defensive transition has not been good. And I think looking at the United side currently, I see the same thing. I remember Brentford under Ten Hag from years ago, and how that Brentford under Ten Hag was the same kind of game with Brentford under Ruben Amorim. The same kind of game in terms of, we're trying to attack, and when we lost the ball, Brentford is also one of the sides that are very, very good in attacking transitions, sitting on the low block or mid block and hitting on the counter attack, right? And we can see that even years apart or months apart between Ten Hag and Amorim, we are still having the same kind of performance, against Brentford at their stadium, right? So for me, I think defensive transition is something we need to work upon. We need to work upon it. We need players, and that's why on this platform we have advocated for midfielders that can help us to track back quickly. Even though, yes, I believe our players currently are really working hard. Like of last game against West Ham, for example, you saw the way Bryan Mbeumo was running back, right? We've seen the way Amad Diallo would run back to help the defense, right? We see the way other players are also running back to help the defense. I think that has improved, but for me, I'll give our defensive transition a 5/10. I believe this is something we need to work on, and it will help us to be able to become that strong, complete, proper team that can pin the opponent back and make them suffer. So let's move to, I've done transitions, attacking transition and defense transitions. Let's move to attacking organization. Under this, we have 3. We have build up, we have progression, and we have business in the final third. So build up, progression, and final third. That's attacking organization. Build up, I think our build up has really, really been bad for years. I think currently, when you look at our build up, that's for Man United. I think the presence of Lisandro Martinez makes our build up much, much better. Right? Much, much better. But I feel the absence, and I think there's an over-reliance on Licha on our build-up. And that's why when he's not around, it just shows we're not a solid team. We don't look like a proper team on the build-up, frankly. And for me, I've seen the United over these years, even under Ten Hag, under Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole. I've not seen us to be that team that has suffocated build-ups. I've not seen us to be that team that can easily play out people's press easily. I've not seen us to be that. And that's why I said that a lot of managers that have come to United have always resorted to playing it long. Right? To playing it long most times. Because we're not okay on that build-up. And I think it's something we need to improve upon. Even in our last few games, I analyzed it. I said there's an over-reliance on Licha Martinez to do a lot of the work on the ball. And that's why when you look at the touches he has, Licha has literally more touches on the ball than even some of our midfielders because of the pressure and the demand. It's not as if he cannot do it, but the fact is the day is not there. What happens? I think sometimes we should have variation in terms of even the midfielder dropping deep to take the ball and build up for us, to help our build up. But I think with Licha there, we just say, Licha, have the ball and try to do something. Maguire tries sometimes. Euro is doing what he's doing well. I think Eddie Nevin is even one of those players that you can see, wow, I like what he does on the build-up. Eddie Nevin, yeah. Matthias De Ligt is just there also. He's just there. But I feel that we need to really, really, really improve that aspect of our game. That's build-up. Progression. So for build-up, I'll give our build-up a 4/10. I think it's something we need to work upon. 4/10. For progression, I think it's also something very, very... It's something also we need to work upon in United. I know ball progression or attacking progression is as I said it major times, can be done 2 major ways: with the ball in terms of variation of passes, right? Short, long, medium, and the likes, verticality of your play. But I think also that progression can also be done. Not I think it is. Progression is also done with a box-to-box midfielder, that kind of food of a player that takes the ball and literally pushes your team forward with the ball, running with the ball. And I think passes, yes, Bruno is there, Casemiro is there. We have that decent progression with passes, not elite level with passes, but at least we still have there. But I think with taking the ball and actually running, we've not had it. I think Pogba used to give us a little bit of that before. But I think now clearly we don't have it. And I think that's clearly why we have been looking at the likes of Baleba, Anderson to help with progression, with running with the ball, right? But we don't have it. So for our progression, attacking progression, I'll give it a 4/10 also. We need to improve on it. In terms of even our verticality of passing, we need to get better. That's why I said the number 6 person that we need to bring needs to be very good on the ball to help us in verticality of our play, and Kobbie Mainoo also needs to help us in the verticality of our play, right? And we need someone that can also push us forward by also running. So these are the profiles we need. Next one is the final third. Attacking. I think our final third. So for build-up, it's also a 4/10. Sorry, I'm skipping. For build-up, it's also a 4/10. Attacking third is also a 4/10. So our attack in general, I would say for 4/10 in general. Build-up, progression, final third, 4/10. And the thing is, we've not had, when you see United since after Sir Alex Ferguson, and one of the things I always remember is the work of René Molliston in the final year of Sir Alex Ferguson, right? The likes of Rafael, Valencia. You could see a pattern of how we attacked. The likes of Valencia with Rooney, Nani with Rooney. You could see sometimes it's crosses, sometimes it's cutbacks. Rafael with Rooney. You could see with Van Persie. Sometimes Van Persie already knows when maybe Rafael is on the side. Van Persie also knows that I shouldn't move in. I should just stay out. They give me, I score. And so I think we need to do a lot of work on that. We need to do a lot of work on that. We need to see consistently. Sometimes our attack is always vibes on vibes. And I know, yes, there's a part of management that has to do with a part of management or coaching a team that has to do with just telling the players to, like what Pep will say most times. Pep will say, my job as a manager is to bring it to the final third. Your job as players is to find solutions in the final third. Yeah, I know that there's that in the game. But the fact is, we still need to have a little bit of structure in terms of how can our teams attack with structure, having this intuition of knowing if this players with this ball, this is going to play for me to score. I think we need to have that. So for me, our attacking organization, I'll just give it a 4/10. We seriously need to work on that. Defensive organization is also in 3 points. High press, mid block, low block. Let me start with the low block. Let's start from the back to the front. Low block, I think, under Steve Holland with Michael Carrick, I think our low block has actually improved a lot. Yes, it's not perfect, obviously. Sometimes I believe that the 4-4-2 zonal mid block, low block, I think is not perfect, obviously. But the fact is there going to be a perfect low block? But I think it can still be better. But for the low block of United, I think it's currently, as we speak, more solid than it was before. And so I think Mourinho's structure was also very solid. Especially in the first season, I felt Mourinho had quite a decent structure last on the low block. But for I think for the low block, I think currently we have a 7/10. Then currently with Steve Holland and Michael Carrick. Mid block, it's not so bad, but mid block it can't be as strong as the low block that we have currently, because the mid block we still get teams passing it around us in the middle of the pitch. We still get outplayed in the middle of the pitch currently. So I think for the mid block, I would say a 5/10. I'll say 5/10. It's not good. It's not so bad. I think it's just 5/10. High press. I want to be very lenient because you guys know that this way I've complained a lot. Our high press as a team is very, very bad. United's high press is very, very bad. They play through us like hot knife through butter. At the hot knife, is it hot knife now in bread or whatever you call it, or they slice us open. That's the main point I was trying to make. I think our high press is just bad. For me, I want to be lenient. I'll just say a 4/10. I think the high press for United is very, very bad. And I think we have to work on it. we're a top team, and a top team needs to have a very good pressing structure, high pressing structure that's effective. We've not had that for years. Let's go to physical preparation. Nutrition. I think nutrition this season has been nice. I don't think we have any overweight player. I think at a point, Casemiro was overweight under Ten Hag, and that was a show to show the kind of nutrition, the kind of fitness we had that time, right? So, and Onana also was big at one point, but now I can see the players are fitter. Yeah, I can see the players are fitter, and this season they've been fitter. So, for me, I'll give the nutrition over 8/10. I'll give the nutrition 8/10. Fitness, methodology, and the training. I think I want to see how, but I felt under Ruben Amorim, I felt the fitness was quite good. I felt the fitness was quite good. I felt the management of the load was also very, very good. But for Michael Carrick, I can't really say yet. Yeah, Dogo's injury is a big blow, but injuries can come at many points. And also the fact that the guys in charge of the fitness guy in charge now was the fitness guy in charge throughout other managers, right? I know Amorim bought his fitness coach. So, but fitness is still something that I'm skeptical about. But looking at the season so far, and how the players have been able to not go for so much long injuries this season. We've had some long term, but not like 10 players out on injury, all those kind of massive numbers, right? I will say the fitness is, I'll give it a 6/10. 6/10 for fitness. Now, let's go to the 25% goals. That's like the set piece. So let's go to free kicks. So free kick, we have central, wide, indirect free kicks, and direct free kicks. So for the central free kicks, I would just say it's a 5/10. I wouldn't say, because sometimes Bruno can pull off a fantastic central free kick, right? But I would say that I can't even beat my chest that if we play 10 free kicks, we will score 5. Really, central free kicks. I think over the years, we've actually, obviously, it's a certain moment on where Sir Alex was there, the likes of Cristiano will do their job, Agres will do their job. Rooney also was very, very good on free kicks. Giggs also was fantastic. But for now, I just feel that I don't say 5/10, because sometimes Bruno can do. I think this season he scored a fantastic free kick also. That's Bruno Fernandes. So I think you can just have, I think it was the Bournemouth game also. There was a fantastic free kick he scored. You just have that moment, but I don't think we need to also improve on that central free kick. Wide free kick, I think, is even worse. Really, I think it's worse. And I complained about it beginning of the season when the likes of Mbeumo was asked to play from the left-hand side. I didn't like what I saw. And I think I complained then. But of recent, I think it's just, I think it's just there. I think the combination we usually have that brings us a lot of results on the wide free kicks is either shot to Casemiro or Bruno to Casemiro. Whenever Casemiro is involved in those moments, we tend to get a goal. So it's always very, very good in that wide free kick. So for me, I'll say the wide free kick is 4/10. I'll say it's a 4/10. I'll just say it's a 4/10. Yes, and the 4/10 will be because of the likes of Mbeumo that has been taking that the bad beginning of the season that wasn't really, really nice. So indirect free kicks, that's still touching somebody to enter inside. I would say 5/10 also. Let's just say 5/10. And direct free kicks, let's just say 5/10. I really feel that will be that. So let's move on to corners. I think our attacking corners has been really, really good this season. Really, really good this season. And I think it's one of the areas where we've massively improved. I believe that attacking corners at the beginning of the season, maybe we were like a 4 or 4. I think now I can say confidently we're like a 7.5. I think we are really good. We find either is the up one or different variations. I think even in research, we could see that the fact that we become more and more stronger. We are one of the top teams that has scored true corners this season. I think it's very, very good. You need that. I think in complete teams, when you look at the likes of Alex Ferguson teams, then the likes of Vidic was there, Cristiano was there, Rooney was there, you had Ferdinand was there, you had people that could actually score with their head. And I think it's good that we have that. Defensive corners, I don't think we are that good on defensive corners currently, but I don't think we are that bad as we were beginning of the season, if you have been honest, where they would just push our keeper and they will score. I don't think we are that bad. But for defensive corner, I would say, let me say 5/10 for defensive corners. I think we are just there. I think we need to do more on that. We need to really do more on that, because sometimes the keeper helps us. Sometimes they nod it, but they're not accurate, and sometimes we just keep it out. But I think we still need to do more on that. Penalties, obviously, penalties. I think it should be the highest rating we have. I don't know what will come next, but penalties, I think we have been very good. Bruno has been very nice in penalties over the years. Yeah, I know this season he missed some penalties, but the fact is he has been very good. He's a very good penalty taker. So I think Bruno will be 8/10. Oh, I said Bruno, penalties will be 8/10. Obviously, Bruno is the one taking most of them. Throw-ins, deep or high throw-ins. Dalot is taking some throw-ins. I think almost every team in the Premier League is arguing good for long throws now. And Dalot has been one of the people responsible for our long throws. I'll give it a 5/10. I'll give it a 5/10. I think there was a game this season where we scored off of that situation. Yeah, I think off of that situation, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was a game we scored a goal like that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you guys can comment. But I think that 5/10. I won't say it has been bad. I won't say it has been good. But I think we still need to do more of capitalizing on that. And I think these are the things that the likes of Arteta are looking at to get in throw-in specialists to try to maximize every area of what a complete team entails. And lastly, kickoff routine. I think this season I've seen fascinating kickoff routine. Yeah, for example, I think even the last game against West Ham, and even under the previous manager also, you see some funny kind of where against West Ham, I can remember the kickoff routine where a lot of the players were on the left-hand side of the play. They came on the left-hand side of the play, and when they came, and sometimes you say that sometimes our kickoff routine is the fact that when they blow the whistle and it's time for kickoff, we just we pass it to the goalkeeper, Lamens, and Lamens low sitting, and all the players are sitting. They are packed in one place and they move to try and get numerical superiority in the area. I think it has not been bad, but maybe we still need to see. For me, kickoff routine. Yes, the teams try to have early goals with it, but let me just say 6/10 on kickoff routine. I don't think it's something that we really didn't take note of, but it's just that I watch it and I say, okay, what structure are we using in kickoff routine? So guys, these are my opinions on just trying to have fun in terms of looking at different areas that makes a complete team, from transitions, attacking shape, defensive shape, fitness, set pieces. Try to see the different areas of the game and to analyze how is our team, there, because I believe this is a template for what a complete team entails. And I think any team that can do at least 8/10 on these areas is going to be a super team. It's a team that will win trophies consistently. If you can get 8/10 on these metrics, I think you win trophies because you can score, you can defend different situations, you can score different kind of goals, and I think, so for United, I think we still have to do a lot. And I think we'll keep evaluating this stuff really as time goes on. So guys, let me have your opinion. I've done a lot. Go through it. The areas I've said that you don't agree with, correct it. The ones you agree with, or if you have your own ratings, go through everything, rate this thing out, and let's have that discussion in the comment section. So guys, thank you for sticking with me. I remember I'm almost Shegun. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share. Until I see you next time. Bye.